Welcome to Gail's Garden, Herbs and More. I know this looks like chaos, but there's a method to my madness. What I want to explain is no matter what, you can keep going. That's not the purpose. I have something in particular I want to tell you about, but also I want to say I'm in a very teeny tiny place now, not like I used to be. I'm going to talk about tiny house living. This is the tiniest of tiny houses, just about. It's better than living in a van, I guess. But it's really tiny. But you can still do things. I can't can in here anything. Maybe eventually I can set up an outdoor kitchen where I can do my canning and stuff. But I am still working with my herbs and things like that. I just got through putting together a bunch of my, because I go through a lot of it in the winter, my chai tea mix. And downsizing some jars like I had to put, and this, we're going to be talking about this in a minute and how I'm using it this morning that is so wonderful. I put this in a smaller one, and then what I've got here is it's actually, it's a little hand pump. It's actually for a car, but it's never been used on a car. I use it for this. And I rearranged, I fixed the hoses, and then I put this in here, and I pump it up and seal the lids on my stuff. I've been doing that for years. Okay, I have several things going here as usual. But what I want to talk to you about is, I've got coffee in here. I'll tell you, I used my little grinder, and I ground up some cardamom pods. And I put in my coffee, in this little French press, I probably put, I don't know if it was quite a teaspoon, maybe half a teaspoon of ground. I ground some of these up first and put in there. And then I made my coffee, and it's so good, I don't even need a sweetener. I just put a little bit of milk in it, and it is just one of the most wonderful tasting things I've ever put in my mouth. I mean, it's wonderful. Now, and there's so many different things I wanted to tell you about. This is my coffee beans. They're organic. You definitely want to get organic coffee because your regular coffee that's not organic is full of chemicals. Okay, then you don't want to get the grounds because those lose their flavor really fast. You get the beans and you just take a little bit out, grind it, and use it. Now, I take some out and grind it, and I've got about that much in a container. I seal the top down. It's not really sealed like this, but it's got a little rubber seal on it, and it's not really sealed like these are sealed from this, but you know what I mean. It helps some, and that ground I'll use within a few days. Then I'll grind some more beans. That way your coffee is delightful. It is so good that way, but it's even better when you add a little bit of cardamom in there. This cardamom coffee is the most wonderful drink you could think about. I don't even need sugar with it. I really don't. Which is good because I need to cut down on my sugar. And I do, but I try to cut more and more and more down. Now, here's the other thing in comparing some prices. I had gotten some time back this from Frontier Co-op. But now they were like $70-some a pound. Yes, this is very expensive. But that was a little more expensive than what I wanted to pay. And there is basically kind of a shortage of it, like everything else right now. So the prices are being pushed higher and higher. But I did some comparative shopping. Okay, so I said, man, that's just too much for a pound of green cardamom pods. Now, I didn't get the black. I don't know what the black are. I've never used them. I don't know what they taste like or anything. This is the green cardamom. This has the most delightful flavor. Okay, so I didn't want to go here. Too expensive. I went to Star West. It was, I think, $84, something like that. Anyway, it was ridiculous as well. So I said, okay, I can't, as much as I love cardamom, I just can't do that. So I went to Mountain Rose. Now, it used to be when I ordered from Mountain Rose, they were more expensive than some of the others, but it's switched now. The last 2 times since I've lived up here that I've ordered from Mountain Rose, what I've ordered anyway, has been cheaper than the others, which is amazing because it didn't used to be that way. But they are, and they explained that the prices went up on the cardamom. I got it for like $51, $52 or something for a pound for the organic. And that was a lot, and I really didn't want to pay it. And most any other thing, I would not pay that much. But I so love cardamom, and I'm afraid it'll get where we can't get it at all eventually, and I want to get a little bit stocked up because this has got to be one of my top favorite herbs. It is the most delightful, especially in coffee. It's delightful, but it also goes in my chai, which this is a main staple for me, is my chai. I only drink coffee once in a while. In the winter sometimes. I can't drink a lot of it because sometimes it'll make my heart just kind of go, phew. I have to make sure I eat something with it. So I try not to drink a lot, and I never have drank a lot of coffee anyway. But I do like it once in a while. But whether it's my coffee or it's my chai, cardamom is just something I've got to have. So I shouldn't have, but I went ahead and ordered a pound of it because that's still way cheaper than the other two. And I just wanted to share with you, if you want to get some of this stuff, you better get stocked up on it now because it may get to where for a few years you may not be able to hardly get a hold of it or get so. It may be there, but it may cost $200 a pound or something eventually. So if you want some, get it and be careful with it. I keep it sealed. I got what I wanted and I resealed the lid again. Over and over you can do that with this type of sealing, dry sealing. This is not canning. This is you just put it in there and seal it. It gets the air out and seals the lid down. And you have to check this once in a while. Some of these I thought were sealed. The seals were undone. Especially because it gets really hot in the summer in here and really cold in the winter. I try to keep it livable, but in the back room where all this is, it's just really cold or really hot. I keep everything just sealed off to this one little room because I've only got one little heater. I can't afford to run the big propane heater. I just can't afford it. So I use a little tiny electric heater. If the electric goes out, I'll just probably have to use my propane kitchen stove to keep from freezing, I guess. I may have to take my chihuahua somewhere for a little while where they won't get too cold. I've got a nice little place for them where it stays nice and warm, though, and I've talked about that in my other videos. But anyway, I just wanted to share some of these things with you. You'll have to excuse the mess. Everything is just pushed right around here. I have a box for my daughter I need to take to her. I have other things just stacked in here. It's kind of the way it is in a small area. Sometimes I get it decluttered somewhat, and then all of a sudden it's right back to being cluttered again because it's such a tiny area. And this morning especially, because I've been doing several different projects, I've got I did a video on making the hawthorn tincture, and that's still sitting over there. I don't really need to shake it. I don't have to now because if you watch that other video, you know how the berries were kind of sticking up on the top. Well, they're not now. They're down below, but I still like to shake it a little bit because it kind of helps to get it to that goodness to keep getting out of those berries. I've got stuff drying on top. I had over there in a little bag is my turmeric that I dug out of my pot, so I had harvested that. And I've just got that set there. I'm going to be using that and something. On the other side of that, I'm drying some more orange peels. Now, with orange peels, I grind them up. And I put that in my chai tea and in a lot of other things too. And all kinds of teas. It's just wonderful. And it's very, very good for you. Okay. I have other things here because I was making my chai. I've got some of it put away, but not all of it. Like my fennel seed and just different things that I'm doing here. But this is something that I wanted you to know about. Several different things in this video about comparing prices, about the cardamom, how wonderful it is. It's just, and you better get it prepped. In other words, you better set a little bit back. I can't afford to get a whole lot set back, but I'm going to get some now. At least maybe I'll have it for a while. Maybe I can stretch it out for a year or two and not use too much. The good thing about cardamom is you don't want to use too much anyway because it's a very powerful herb. And like if I were to put too much in my coffee, then it wouldn't taste wonderful anymore. It'd be more overpowering, and I don't even know what you'd describe it. I've done it before where I got just too much and it really wasn't good. But if you do it right, where you just use a little bit, and I made a full thing of the coffee and with the coffee grounds and then the it wasn't even a teaspoon of cardamom. And that was plenty. That was really pretty powerful, probably more than what some people would like. So the good thing about cardamom, yes, it's expensive, but the good thing is you don't use much of it. But you also want to keep it sealed, to keep it fresh, to keep that wonderful flavor sealed in there. Because over time, they will dissipate. The flavor will dissipate. But if you keep that sealed, it's going to be like the day you put it in the jar for quite a while. I end up using it before it's set for too many years. Okay, that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm hoping you'll excuse my mess. I just wanted to get this shot. I can't hardly do anything this morning because it's just pouring down rain, which is good. We really, really, really need that rain. But and I've just got stuff stacked everywhere. And when I get done with this video, because I've been working in the kitchen this morning, I'm gonna go wrap a blanket around me and watch some videos or something, or do some more research, or reading the scriptures. Or I do a lot of research in the scriptures, as well as herbal research and researching what's going on in the world right now and what the truth is, because you really have to dig for yourself, because you're not going to find it on when you turn on the TV and what you usually watch. At least what most people usually watch. They aren't telling you. There's some really interesting things happening behind the scenes. So I do a lot of research on that stuff. My daughter and I have talked about doing a podcast together, because we see things and find things. Both of us researching and comparing notes and discussing, and and asking questions back and forth, and saying, well, how would that apply to the scriptures? Was there something in the scriptures about that? Sometimes we find it in the scriptures. Sometimes we haven't been able to correlate it yet. So, and then just having knowledge of what's going on, so that I don't like being in the dark. I want to be somewhat prepared somehow, at least mentally, to know what's happening. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm going to go, I'll put the rest of these away, make sure I got my jars sealed, then I'm going to wrap up my blanket and get warm. And I probably won't do I'll clean some of this up, but I needed it out because I wanted to show you some things, and it's all compact in this one little tiny table, so it does look rather cluttered, forgive me, but I did want to share this with you. If you got anything out of it, give me a thumbs up, because that really helps. Subscribe if you haven't, it's free. Share on your social media. All of that stuff helps, because I certainly don't get pushed out here. I've been to the place where I'm at for subscribers probably 18 to 20 times, and every time I get some, they drop it. Sometimes I'll say I got somebody subscribed, and they don't even count it. They'll drop 2 instead of adding 1. So it's really hard. Once in a while they let a few climb up, but it takes a long time, because I don't know why. But anyway, I'll leave you with all of that, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. And let me know if you got anything out of this, or anything you wanted to add to it in the comments below. Love you all. Take care, and bye-bye.